Toyota's redesigned the Camry for 2012, and they've lent us a few models to try out here at the track to take a first look. Now, the Camry is not exactly the most exciting car in the world, but a lot of people like vanilla, and the Camry is often the top-selling car in the country, so when they redesign it, we take notice. Now, when you redesign the country's top-selling model, you really have to take a conservative approach, and Toyota has done that. In fact, this still looks like a Camry. It looks very similar to the model that we saw last year. And the width, the length, and even the wheels, they're in the exact same spot. Not much has changed exterior-wise, but that doesn't mean the car is the same. To really see the differences in the Camry, you got to get behind the wheel. And once you're there, you can see a big difference in terms of interior quality. Now, the dashboard, it's got a soft touch, it's got stitching throughout. The seats, they've been really nicely upgraded. Nice material here. Throughout, we also have some nice wood paneling. Now, that's on the XLE model, which this is. But if you get the base LE, you get most of these upgrades. The Camry is one of the first Toyotas that offers the new Entune system, which gives you a few apps that work through the data connection of your cell phone and gives you things such as Pandora streaming, stocks, and Bing search, which interfaces with your nav system. Now, the rear seat of the Camry, it's always been roomy, but this one's even better. And even though the car's not any bigger, they were able to eke out about 2 inches of extra leg room by reshaping the front seats and the center console. Probably the most significant change you're going to see in the Camry, though, is not something you're going to pick up on a spec sheet. It's the way the car feels. The Camry, well, it just really had numb steering. It almost felt like there's a rubber band hooked up between the steering wheel and the wheels. Well, that's kind of changed now. In fact, it's fairly precise steering, and it makes the car more engaging and more fun to drive. Don't get me wrong, this is still not a sports car. There is an SE model of the Camry, or the Sports Edition. That has a much stiffer suspension, but it actually isn't any more fun to drive. The steering is a little bit firmer, but it doesn't have any more feel. In fact, a lot of us thought it was even less fun to drive. Even though the handling is improved, we were really happy to find out that all that really good Camry qualities are still there. In fact, the cars are still extremely quiet, and the ride is very comfortable. The 4-cylinder and the 6-cylinder powertrains really haven't changed much, but they were able to get more fuel economy out of both of them. Part has to do with changes they did with the engine, but also has to do with just making the cars lighter and more efficient. Powertrain changes for the hybrid are far more extensive. Gone is the 2.4-liter engine, and in comes the 2.5. Now, the 2.5 is actually optimized for the hybrid powertrain. It's less low-end torque, that gets filled in by the electric motor. What that means to you, though, is going to be better fuel efficiency. In fact, the EPA Cycle City has gone up 7 miles per gallon, and we expect to see higher fuel economy, too, in our testing. Every Camry now allows you to track your own fuel economy with both a digitally and an analog gauge. Now, we're going to have to wait until we test our own Camry here at our track to see how it stacks up against our very competitive family sedan segment. But so far, we like what we see.